So West Ham 0, Arsenal 6. Arsenal's biggest away victory in the Premier League ever. Super Mick. Now I've got my goggles on. Yeah, now I've got my specs on. I can actually see the vision, Kenny. What have we all been missing?
I'll tell you what.
Performance.
You know what? I don't know where it is, right, since they've been to Dubai, but we've scored 5 against Palace, 2 against Forest, 3 against Liverpool, now 6 today. You know, I don't know what to say, man, but that was that was a commanding performance. The only disappointing is, and I don't want to be disrespectful because I'm still in Newham with a lot. I know the West Ham fans left pretty early. No, they left pretty early, although left pretty early, but they left after the 4th goal winning at half time. But all I can say is that we were a bit gutted and frustrated that we didn't get. It was an 8-0. I don't know how you felt when you did your watch along, but you must be frustrated as well.
Oh mate, at half time I was sitting there. Me, Matty, and Ola, we were sat there and we said, "Right, that's it, lads. Feet up. We're comfy now." But then the chat was saying, if we score 7, we go above City on goal difference. So it's like, come on, get that 7, like, just for psychology. Yeah, but listen, I predicted 1-0, Kenny. I can't moan about a 6-0, but the crowd looked insane, right, from the away end. Yeah, but the home end, mate, they were fire drill, absolute fire drill. And
I don't blame them
since they beat us.
Yeah, I blame, but like Fulham, since they beat us, they struggled with results as well. But Fulham managed to get a win against what I consider 6-pointer for them against Bournemouth. But yes, today West Ham, I always got that feeling if we scored early, it would have been game over. But I never envisaged it would be like this. But after we got a second, when the through ball went and Saka got taken up by Areola, I was looking at the time and I went, you know what? I said to Mike, and I said to Hoggy as well, you know what? There's more goals in this. And when we got the third, there was like 7 minutes of injury time in the first half. I said, you know what? We can get 5 here. They were just bereft of any confidence. And you know what? This League Cup was so painful, so humiliating. They absolutely killed us, you know that. They murdered us. And they deserved to win. But from day dot, Declan English, I know a lot of people think I was a bit pathetic and childish calling that. You know what? I'll do what I want. It's my life, my YouTube experience and my profile. I'll say what I like. Declan English was, he played really well. He was really determined to play well. But you know what? Odegaard was like,
annoying the hell out. So underrated today, Odegaard. He was insane today.
He was
the reason nobody's really mentioning Odegaard because the 2 centre-backs scored, kept a clean sheet. Yeah, the 16-year-old come on. Yeah, Trossard scored a banger. Declan Rice scored a banger. So Odegaard's kind of gone under the radar. I said it on my fan cam, which is, I thought he was insane today. Like, just kept everything ticking.
It was his best performance. It was unplayable to the extent that it was hard to get the ball in. The only way you're going to stop him is by kicking him. And West Ham did that a few times. You know what I mean? But saying that, I'm really, really, really made up about this kind of win because this is the kind of form you need to be in if you are going to win the league. Because Burnley next week, I expect the same against Burnley. Now it's not being disrespectful; it's just being factual. They're poor, but I actually thought that this has been a harder game. We might have won it back 2-0 or 2-1, or as you said, 1-0, and that the 6-star performance would have come from Burnley. But alas, the opportunities West Ham gave us, we took with both hands.
Yeah, mate. Listen, that end of that first half, because the first 25 minutes, like Saka missed a couple of good chances, and I was like, we're playing slow. It's not the high tempo. Like we're doing exactly what we're doing. It's like then they were dangerous without being dangerous on the counter. They didn't really affect us in any way. They had one shot all game on target, but they were nearly dangerous. They were nearly getting in. And it was like, as soon as we got that first goal, then Trossard puts that great ball over the top to Saka and gets invited in for a penalty. Cheers. Or there was that was the second goal, wasn't it?
The second goal, that's right,
Yeah, and then after that we get the third goal. Yeah, and then after that we get the fourth goal, and it was like 3 goals in about 7 minutes, 6 minutes or something stupid. Yeah, totally killed them. They're all walking out. Yeah, that must have been the easiest halftime team talk of his life.
Oh, absolutely. I think, you know what? It was one of those things where one of the things is against us, if you ain't got pace against that team, you're going to get mullered. You have to have pace. I was actually speaking to, obviously mostly Hoggy about the tactical side of things. And I was looking Zuma on the ball. Kurt Zuma has got a lot of pace. He can get really tight and you can't round him. But when he's on the ball, you've got to press him because he's one of those things where if he's not at his best, on the ball, he's not the greatest. And I think that's what we did. We did to West Ham what they did to us in the Cup. We pressed them, got in amongst them, and won all the second balls. To the extent that the balls they won, and when they got into attacking areas, they didn't have enough bodies forward because they were worried about losing the ball and getting done on the counter attack. And that's the kind of performances of what we were doing last season. Is it sustainable? Well, it has to be because at the end of the day, we've got ourselves in a situation where this is it now. This is it. You never know what's going to happen next season. The best chance to win the league is this season because it's the season and we're involved in it. No good talking about next season. Where you're assuming Man City will be dot points and Liverpool ain't got Klopp. This is the time where you've got to make a challenge and take all comers, and that's what you've got to do. We've had a blip over Christmas, and hopefully we got over it. But there is really no margin for error, and it's pleasant that not only are we in the goals, but 5 different people scored today. Saliba, Gabriel, Trossard scored again. Saka.
Take goal.
Saka's now scoring consecutively as well. So that's 4 in 3. 4 in 3
as well. That's big balls, yeah. Right, it is big balls to stand up and take a penalty at that stadium when you missed one last season.
That's what I'm talking about.
The unraveling of our title charge.
Yeah, exactly.
Stand up and take. So if you missed it, everyone's looking at him and it's 1-0 at the time. You're like,
exactly. And that's the thing. He was unplayable. He was playing a lot better. And it's not just the fact that he scored a couple of his goals. He's crossing at the right time. Creating little chances. Obviously, there were some headers that went over the bar. But you've got to pay tribute to Trossard as well. It's not easy. Trying to find a place for Leo. But when he does today, deputising for Jesus. Scored, being involved in the game. He had a shot, that got tipped over the bar by Areola. He got involved with some headed chances as well, and he scored a worldie as well. And that's one of the things about Trossard. Trossard is a very intelligent footballer. When he has belief in himself, and we're going to need a lot of that. Martinelli's unlucky today. He didn't get in the goal scoring column, but next week's an opportunity. But the only thing missing now is an Odegaard to get in the goals because goals is what's going to help us win this title. Because I'm not saying we're favourites of the title because at the end of the day, the people with the favourites of the title, the people with the points. Liverpool got the points. Man City, albeit ahead of us in goal difference. You're assuming that they'll beat Brentford. So we're assuming, rightly or wrongly, that there's going to be we're going to be 3 points behind. So the March. Our next game against City in March has got to be critical. But to actually make that game critical and make that game a 6-pointer, there's games against Burnley. I expect us to win comfortably. Then it's Newcastle. Very tricky. Very tricky because they got Gimenez played well yesterday, scored a great goal, and obviously they're getting all their players back, and they're gonna want to be competitive as well because they're going to come to win. So that's a hard game, but we've got to get through that. Sheffield United takes care of itself. Brentford, it's the Ivan Toney, I don't know, it could be, it's the Ivan Toney discussion. And then who knows, Chelsea, we may not have the Chelsea game, but in between that, we've got Porto. Every game now is a cup final from there to the end of the season. And, and our attitude has to be spot on, but we've got to have a bit of luck as well because at the end of the day, you could play well and things can't go your way. So right now, I'm really pleased. I'm not as stressed as I was before Christmas. I'm not as angry as I was before Christmas. But you know what? There's so many hard games in the Premiership. I'm just hoping we keep on making the games easier like it is today.
Yeah, exactly. Listen, it was nice to actually see 4 goals by half time and not be sitting there stressed in the second half. So yeah, listen, get yourself home safely, mate. I know there's a lot of angry, upset West Ham fans around.
Well,
So,
none of them are at. They all went home, but went home, and I don't know. It was actually funny because when we come out the grounds, they actually partitioned, the walkway towards Stratford, and they made us go miss out the West Ham fans. I said, "Are they angry?" So yeah, they're not in a good mood, and the natives are restless, so we try to avoid them. But I felt like telling the steward that they've all gone home, but I don't want to be so provocative. As I said, you are guests in someone else's home, so act accordingly.
exactly. Listen, get home safely, mate. I love you to bits. Love you to bits.
Love
I'm
you
so
too.
happy
All right.
for you as well because you've witnessed 6 goals, our biggest away win in the Premier League, Kenny.
Yeah, I don't know,
Yeah,
mate. You got to take what you're giving, innit?
yeah, but listen, we're right there, and that sent a message today. That sent a message to Pep and Klopp, like, oh, actually, hold
Yeah,
up, yeah. So yeah, listen, big
yeah,
up to you,
definitely.
mate,
Yeah.
and make sure you get home safely. Appreciate your time as always, and
Always
yeah,
got
man.
right back. See you tomorrow on the
Come on.
podcast.
Yeah, man. Take care.